last couple of weeks, and they're at roughly $225,000 per month. That's $2.7 million per year in income from this company. You got to stop and just pause a second, because that doesn't happen with stuff that's not legit, honestly. This stuff is good. The products are excellent. The potential is there. My wife's been a part of Mary Kay for over 25 years. Last week we celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. So I've known her since, basically the start of doing that. And it's been great. It's good. They've got good products. They've got good things. It's a great company. Mary Kay Ash is a great piece of our world history. But I didn't really rally around her about going and selling somebody some green eyes. It just didn't happen. But I can get excited about her selling greens. I can get excited about me talking to other guys and other people about the greens product, which is why I just bought the website. There's .ninja now instead of .com and stuff. .ninja, is that cool or what? So I got greensguy.ninja. Okay, so we're gonna develop that. It's gonna become a little more information as time goes. But that's the thing that kind of got me into this company, the greens. So I want to talk about that here in a minute. How many of you had your greens today?
Whoop. Oh.
Almost all of us. Who had some Profit today? Some protein. Okay. Who had any greens chews today? All right. Who had their Vital Pack today? Core Nutrition, minerals, omega-3 fish oils. All right. Next time we meet, I want to see every hand on every product. Because if you are not a product of the product, don't expect to sell it, first and foremost. It's going to be hard to sell stuff you don't use. If you don't believe in the product, good luck to you. It's going to be tough. So you've got to kind of pick a place to start. You've got to pick a something, and your budget may mean, well, I'm going to start with this one this month. I'm going to add this one next month. And you just kind of figure out how that works. Now, everybody necessarily doesn't need everything under the sun. Although, again, the Mary Kay, my mom was a Mary Kay lady. So 50 years ago, she was using the cleansers and things like that. And I believe that's a great product. But now, with my wife and my high school daughter shifting to the facial line of products and saying, Dad, this stuff is way better than anything we've ever used before, I'm telling ladies that, okay? I'm not using the facial cleanser. Maybe I should, but I haven't been. And so that's something that, again, you can have support from your spouse in some of these things as you learn what it is. So let me get into some of the products, because I could get carried away tonight if we're not careful. And I want to start with the greens. Now, there's the greens on the go. There's the greens in the little can, the greens in the big can. I buy the big can because guess what? We all use it. There's 6 of us in our household. We've got 4 kids. We all do this. We all try to do it every day. If it doesn't happen every day, we try to make up for it. What's unique about the greens is there's a lot of other nutritional companies out there and other places that do vitamins and protein. And you know what? There's a lot of people, guys, that we're bumping into at work and at the gym and other places that are taking protein. And the Profit, hands down, is a much better quality product, first and foremost. But the greens, you know what? A lot of companies don't have the greens. But you ever heard on the radio on Glenn Beck and some of the different talk show radios they're advertising, the Texas Superfoods, and there's companies out there trying to do this type of green stuff. But the thing about the greens is that it alkalizes your body. Now, why that's important is this. When I graduated from chiropractic college about 17 years ago, I started in practice, and I started talking to people about alkalizing their body. Because one thing we learned about in nutrition class, which chiropractors have nutrition class, medical doctors don't have that class. So you got to keep that in mind too when you say, well, consult your doctor on this product, consult your doctor on that product. Most of them don't have a clue, honestly. And the drugs that they prescribe to folks are based on what the drug reps are telling them is new, and that they're kind of learning as they go. So keep this in mind, that when we learned about human physiology and nutrition, we learned about body pH. We've all probably had high school chemistry. If you can flash back just for a second, we're not going to stay flashbacks to high school for very long. But high school chemistry, you have acids and bases. Okay? They neutralize each other. So acids are basically the 1 to the 6.9 range, and then 7 is neutral, and then bases are 7.1 up to 14. Okay? And so everything has a number. Pure water is 7. It's neutral. Our blood pH needs to sit between 7.35 and 7.45. And if it doesn't, we get really, really, really sick. Death sick. Okay? And so everything we eat and put in our body either takes us more acidic or more alkaline. The basic. And so we want to be alkaline. Have you all smelled a fresh newborn baby? You all gone into a nursery and you just kind of have that really good, it's a good smell.
I know exactly.
She knows what I'm talking about. And I just say that, and all of a sudden in my mind, I can smell that. Okay? How many of you have been in a nursing home? It does not smell the same. Okay? That's the smell of acidity, the nursing home. The nursery is the smell of alkaline. Okay? If you can put those two contexts in your mind, inflammatory diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, all that kind of stuff, and you hear people talk about inflammation this, inflammation that, okay, and we're not talking about just, oh, my elbow's sore because I was playing tennis or golf and it's inflamed. We're talking about full body inflammation. In fact, if your arteries aren't inflamed, who cares what what we consume? Things that make us more acidic, are sugar, white refined sugar, white flour, alcohol, tobacco, and a variety of other foods that could be fruits and vegetables, breads especially as well, in the white flour. But those things kind of describe the typical American diet. Okay? We can eat organic, we can eat as best as we can, but guess what? We still live in America and stuff still happens. I was recently in Cambodia for 2 weeks, this last month. And over there, they kill and cook or pick and eat their food every day, for the most part. In all the villages we were in, it was fresh. The chickens are running around until it's time for them to dress them, and they catch them, kill them, cook them, and eat them. They don't have processed food in the villages over there, and those folks actually are relatively healthy. They may be malnourished in their quantity. There's no fat Cambodians, none of them, because they're eating fresh and they're working hard, but yet their bodies can still go the other way, just like ours can, based on what they eat. If they kind of get into more of the sugars and flours and things like that, their body will, just like the human body here, will do these things. So the cool thing that I learned in college, in chiropractic college nutrition class, is that magnesium is the mineral, and potassium is the other mineral that's so good to put in your body. Celtic sea salt. Been a rage for years. I buy that, have bought that for our family. I buy magnesium by the case from different nutritional companies that I've used over the years and sell that to folks, talking about this alkaline acidity problem that we all have. And the key, again, with these inflammatory diseases is if your body isn't acidic, if your body goes more alkaline and stays there, it's not going to have the potential to be chronically sick like so many people we know are. So along come the greens. She's talking about this wrap thing. Okay, this wrap thing sounds cool, it's crazy, it's whatever. But now you start talking nutrition, you're talking my language, because this is something I've studied and something that I sell in my office to supplement chiropractic. For me, chiropractic's first. For me, if I get to $2.7 million a year with this company, I'm still a chiropractor and I'm still taking care of people. Because that's what I do. That's what I was born to do. It'd be nice to have a little extra on the side, right? Like these folks I was talking about.
Couple million extra.
They're supporting, they started their school in Uganda. Is that right? I mean, it's like,
From Africa, yes.
are you kidding me? They started a school, supporting a school with the extra cash. You know, if they got an extra, if they can live on $0.7 million a year and put $2 million into a school, that's a cool thing. So when people are challenging you about, oh, you're money driven, you're money minded, my goal is to where can I make a difference in this world by any extra cash that we don't have to live on. Yeah, let's pay off our debt. Let's be responsible. Let's train up our children in the way that they understand what they're supposed to do and responsibility in life, and give them an opportunity. And as soon as my daughter turns 18 in February, guess what? She's going to be a distributor, and stuff's going to start to happen. That's an important thing. I'd be irresponsible if I didn't do that. So along come the greens. I know about alkalinity. They talk about it here, and I start looking at the products. I'm thinking, okay, broccoli. All right, that's good. Black walnut leaf, blackberry fruit, blueberry fruit, cranberry, dandelion leaf. I guess that'd be all right. Actually, dandelion, did you know, oftentimes brings down blood pressure. Did you know that?
What's your liver?
Cleanses your liver. That's part of how it does that.
How it breaks down fat.
This stuff starts to detox you. It starts to clean out the liver, and your body starts to flush toxins. And so as you flush toxins, and it's really high in, like I say, the magnesium and potassium, because think of this as a whole food. A lot of vitamins out there, and I've always used whole food nutrition in my office with different companies over the last 20 years. Whole food nutrition is, let's take the beet, the apple, the pear, the blueberry, the asparagus, the broccoli, the kale. Let's grind them up, put them together, and make this concoction and this special formula. And then that person takes that as a vitamin supplement, a whole food supplement. Because what does my body need today at this minute? It's going to be different than it was yesterday and tomorrow. And if I'm always using synthetic vitamins, which is your GNC stuff, your Walmart stuff, your Centrum stuff, which is poison. Yes. Did you know that Centrum was, a few years ago, a study came out where they're testing all the different vitamins. Centrum for women was high in mercury. Who needs extra mercury in your diet? Okay? So these ladies you know that are on mercury pills, Centrum for women, you got the edge on them with this core nutrition. My goodness, get that out of your system. You're making yourself more toxic. You need the greens to detoxify and then start to put the good stuff in. We can go on for hours and hours and hours about this stuff, but the point is, the greens caught my attention. As you start to detoxify, you'll start to flush and stuff will start to come out. I was thinking, yeah, man, I want some greens. Let's go, and let's go strong. So I was doing 3 and 4 servings of greens a day for a while. It's good stuff, okay? It cleans you out. I did not notice any more bathroom trips for me at that point than I was before. It was just kind of a normal thing. It's not like a laxative by any means. But guess what I noticed? Mucus drainage, my sinuses, I'm coughing up junk. I can't figure out why. I'm more sensitive maybe to some pollen, some stuff going on. But I realize as I'm pumping in, again, the mucus lining in our body system is a way of detoxifying, and it's just pouring out of me. And stuff's draining and cleaning out. I back off to 1, maybe 2 a day. I like that better. It's not as junky on me, okay? There's going to be things that happen when you take good nutrition. Some folks say, well, can I give this stuff to my kids? Well, can you give them broccoli? You have to be 18 to eat broccoli. Okay? Don't take this unless you're 12. Who picked that age, for crying out loud? Okay? My 12-year-old's more like a 16-year-old, so hey, he needed it 4 years ago, I guess when he was 8. And nonetheless, you got to be sensitive, you got to be smart about it. If somebody's taking medication and you start taking good nutrition, guess what your body's going to do with good nutrition, better nutrition? It's going to work better. It's going to work more efficient. All of a sudden, the medications you're taking are going to be more effective. You're going to want to be talking with your medical doctor as to, do I need this much medication? Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm getting lightheaded and passing out because I didn't need my blood pressure medication today. For crying out loud, if your blood pressure is 60/40, don't take your pill. Talk to your doctor and say, maybe I'm overdosed on this. Well, maybe he says you're overdosed on greens or something else. This is healthy nutrition. This is food. So we're trying to supplement what we aren't getting because we're not picking the mango off the tree and eating it like they are in Cambodia and some of these other countries. Okay? We're not doing it here. The food you get in the grocery store, I'm sorry, even if it's organic, it's not as good as it was. That apple that I ate today is not as good as the apple I ate 20 years ago, 25 years ago when I was in high school, whatever the case may be. Because the soil's depleted, toxins in the air, there's just a whole bunch of junk. So it's different. So food is food is food. There's critics out there who say, well, just eat more vegetables. Great. 8 servings of fruits and vegetables and 2 scoops of this stuff? Okay, you know what 8 servings looks like on your plate? I don't have the stomach space for it, nor the colon tolerance. Okay? So I like the greens. Alkalinity is important. I don't know any man, woman, potentially child, but I'll stick with man and woman for now, that doesn't need this stuff. So my thing in my office is when I'm talking to people, I've got greens on the go, I've got my card, I give them a couple samples, they're $1 a piece. I say, I'm going to give you $2 worth of greens right here. I want you to try it. And I want you to try the berry, I want you to try the orange, whatever the flavors are that you like. I like the orange if we're using it in orange juice or some type of juice. I like the berry for everything else. If it's just straight water, it's berry. And I'll give them that opportunity. And I'll say, you try it, because here's what it's going to do. I've got folders. You can Google it. There's all kinds of stuff on my website and other websites about alkalinity. Okay? There's critics out there that say, oh, you don't need to do this. The blood's going to stay between 735 and 745. Okay, if it does, and for most of us it does stay there, where does it get the magnesium and the potassium to do that? It pulls it out of your bone. It pulls it out of your liver. It pulls it out of your muscle. Basic human physiology is when you want to contract a muscle, it needs calcium. When you want to relax, it needs magnesium for the muscle fibers to do their thing. Okay? I'm breaking it down really basic. If you don't have enough magnesium, your muscles don't relax all the way, and guess what? You get chronic tightness. Hamstrings are a little bit tight. Back of the neck's a little bit tight. Those chronic spots, okay, we look for the problem that creates then in your spine, and we focus on the disc and the nerve with chiropractic. But if the muscle never changes, it goes right back to where it was. And so your exercise routine, your life, the stress of the daily activities brings on some of that muscle tension. And if you're low on magnesium and potassium and things like that, your body just kind of gets stuck in this state. And so for a lot of folks, this is a big, big game changer. For me, again, it's the core first thing. You've got the Vital Pack here, and in here there's a fish oil. The rage for the last 10 to 15 years has been fish oils, fish oils, fish oils. Again, fish swim in the ocean where there's toxicities, mercury. If they're catching the fish off the east coast of the United States, it's going to be bad fish for you. If they're catching it in Alaska, it's better because you don't have all the toxins in the water. Long story short, you've got to have a good quality oil. People buy cheap oil at Walmart and Sam's Club and get a great big bottle for $3. Okay, guess what? When you go to the fish factory, there's different things they do there. Okay, the really good stuff they take care of, and they get it out and maybe never gets frozen. It goes fresh. You've got subgrades of things. They process it different ways, and the stuff they scoop off the floor is what they make into fish sticks, right? Y'all realize that? Okay. It's the hot dog of the fish industry, is their fish sticks. They do that with oils too. There's rancid oils that are out there. People say, oh, I tried fish oil, maybe it burped, and oh man, that's gross stuff. You've got bad oil. You got different choices at the gas station, right? You can spend the extra and put in the 91 octane, or you can buy the cheap 87 like most of us do. But you know what happens is my car does better, and it gets better gas mileage on the 91, and when I really look at it, it might be worth it if I did that. For the longevity of that engine. This is your engine. What are you willing to invest in your engine? You've got to put high quality stuff in there. So the fish oils are important. Nordic Naturals is a common, widespread, well-known, high-quality, good fish oil. This stuff is more potent than that and less costly. And it's high-quality stuff. So in this little package right here, in the It's Vital Complete Nutrition Pack, is a fish oil for the day. Again, an anti-inflammatory. It helps lube up the blood vessels so cholesterol doesn't stick. It helps joints. It helps your muscles. Anti-inflammatory is very good. There's 3 vitamins, the vitamins, and then there's 2 minerals. The reason they don't put them all together is because that'd be one big old pill if they did. Okay, and you have different stuff that's in them. I'm not going to read all the products here, but here's the cool thing about the vitamins, the green ones in here. Okay, the NutriBound Whole Food Complex. Again, whole food. They've got pomegranate. They've got cranberry juice. They've got apple, pineapple, tomato, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. You're getting your Brussels sprouts in here, okay? It's a good way to get it, although my family loves Brussels sprouts, so we're not going to give those up quite yet. Now, Mind Body Energy Blend, digestive support, which includes enzymes, which are necessary to break down food, to break down the other stuff that's in the greens and it's in everything else you're taking, so your body can digest it. If you don't have the enzymes, stuff doesn't go through the right way, you don't absorb it well. Your metabolic support blend, which is green leaf tea, to boost the metabolism. Again here, everything's kind of got just a little bit of a metabolism boost in it. The immune support blend, the cardio support for your heart, and the antioxidant phytonutrients, which is your plant nutrient blend. Your blueberries, which are high power antioxidants. Those types of things aren't in Centrum. They're not in GNC. They're not in that stuff, but they are in here. So right off the bat, when you start looking and trying to compare, okay, how much vitamin A does it have? How much vitamin C does it have? I don't care so much about that, but what's bioavailable? Did you all know that calcium carbonate that they use in Tums, it's calcium, it's all natural, right? And they advertise that on TV and on the stuff. Oh, take your calcium. Take your calcium, take your calcium, okay? It comes, oh, I'm getting my calcium. Guess what? It's rock powder. You're not going to absorb it. Calcium citrate, lactate, a few other things, which are, again, those other things are blended into this as well, are going to allow you to absorb what you need to. So you can put calcium in, and if stuff out there is all natural, but if your body can't use it, so what? You got to make sure it's bioavailable. So again, this whole food stuff is bioavailable and can make a difference. The green chews. It's not the greens packaged in a chewable form. It's a separate product. Okay? It says green chews, antioxidant and prebiotic support. Who knows the difference between prebiotic and probiotic? You heard those terms used, right? Who knows what a probiotic is? Shout it out if you know.
Helps with digestive health.
Okay? Helps with digestive health. Do we know what it is? It's good bacteria. Okay? Oh, bacteria is bad. I need to take an antibiotic because I have a bacteria. Guess what? One day when you were 7, you had a sinus infection and you got bacteria, or you got antibiotics. You killed good bacteria in your stomach and in your colon. Guess what? You use antibacterial soap at home, so you don't have any good bacteria on your hands anymore when you lick your fingers after eating fried chicken. You're not getting the good bacteria in. You have to replenish. If you don't, your body can get sick. Again, digestive health as well as your overall immune system. Prebiotic is the food the probiotic needs. Okay? You're pre before you're pro. So if you eat a couple chews a day, you're giving yourself inulin, some fiber, some stuff that the probiotic, when it gets in there from your greens, because it's in your greens, when that goes in and it hatches, literally, once it gets wet and starts to do its thing, it starts to hatch and grow and reproduce. Where's the food? Where's the food? Where's the food? Okay? Comes over here to the food bar and starts grabbing prebiotic. If it's not there, it goes hungry, it doesn't survive very long, doesn't reproduce like it should. So it's more bang for your buck on your body when you combine the two. I know on most all their products, they say this stuff is intended for adults, not children. Consult with your doctor if you're pregnant or nursing. Again, those are statements that they need to print on there. Those are safety things they have to print on there. So you're going to want to use your discretion. If people are on medication and have questions about this stuff, you just kind of, again, tell them, monitor that with your doctor. People know how they feel. If you start drinking greens, you start feeling weird, stop drinking the greens and figure out why. You may be over-medicated, or there may be another problem you didn't know you have, and now you've got to go get something else figured out because your body's working differently and better. You are now more in tune with it, and you now have had a kidney problem you didn't know, and now you're figuring it out. So keep all that in mind. But I have no problem giving my elementary kids a chew every day or two, or even a couple a day. If the kid is too small and is going to choke on a chew, cut it in half, cut it in fours. Let them kind of gum it, chew it. Don't give them a whole one, but give them part of one if you want to. I don't see, at this point, any reason why we can't or shouldn't, although that's my opinion, not It Works' opinion. And with that, I still qualify it with use common sense. And if their body kind of reacts weird, again, give them small bits like that, then obviously watch and be careful. The only thing I didn't cover here yet is the ProFit. Protein is the main building block of a major, major part of our body. The thing I like about this ProFit protein is the fact that there's 3 special things involved here, okay? Number one, they use a product, a proprietary blend of stuff that they call Sustain It, okay? It's the actual proteins they use and the blend of proteins that they use that, again, become more bioavailable to your body. And so they have a higher quality of protein than just a whey protein or just a soy protein. And it's a blend of both of those. And they all have their pros and cons. And if you're just doing one all the time or the other, you may not get the most benefit from the protein that you're taking. When you exercise and you break down muscle and tear it apart and you feel that, oh, it's achy, sore, but then you do it again the next day or the next week, and you start to get bigger muscles, it's because when the muscles get torn down, they start to repair. And they get bigger when they repair. You give it the protein that it needs to repair, it's going to be more effective. Which is why all your big bodybuilders definitely are using protein, among other things. Jeff back there is a lifting maniac. He's getting big and bulked out because of the ProFit. The Sustain It, like I say, is a really good blend. The Ultimate ProFit, what was I going to say here? Oh, the FitZyme. They've got a blend of enzymes in here as well. And again, those enzymes are needed to break down the nutrition that's in our body and digest through what it's supposed to be, and they've got that built in. The Fit Boost, again, is going to be something that gives you a little bit of a boost as far as your metabolism goes, as well as your even mental state. How about that? The chocolate version, I usually do vanilla on just for smoothies and drinks and where we mix fruit in and just my morning shake that I do. I'm just kind of, I could kind of even just nothing real special. We'll put orange juice along with some coconut juice or coconut milk in there, and wow, is all I got to say with some of this. There's millions of recipes out there, but the cocoa powder, the chocolate powder, that's got a little bit of a mental lift to it. Okay, it's a little bit of a pick-me-up, and so keep that in mind too. As this product definitely has a different blend of that. What am I missing? What am I missing? Any questions? We got time for a couple quick questions?
Yeah.
Any questions on any of these products so far?
I just wondered if you have a certain way that you take your product, like greens first thing in the morning, running into stuff before. Is there any specific?
There's lots of different opinions out there on that, and depending if you're taking ThermoFit, depending if you're taking fat fighters. Don't take your fat fighters close to when you take your fish oil, okay? Because the oil's fat. Guess what your fat fighters do? They do their job, right? They shut it down to some degree. It's what you feel comfortable with. Thanks for that, because I did want to mention, I think they've said, if I'm not mistaken, that the pack, just take it all at once in the morning.
Yeah, it's time released.
It's time released. And I know that's what they say. I'm still a proponent. I'm old school in the fact that most of us kind of sort of get hungry 3 times a day. Okay? And so to take nutrition when your body's calling for it, I'm still an old school guy in that sense. Okay? There's enough package in there that if I want to take that whole thing and I really haven't eaten breakfast and I've only had part of my shake, I don't know if I like that for myself. It's time released, but if it's down in the colon by 4:30 in the afternoon, from 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's releasing in the colon, is it going to be as effective as if I just put it in 2 hours before and it's still up in my small intestine? 18 feet up, because that thing goes all over the place. I know. See, different opinions. The company will say one thing. Some health experts will say another. But I'm kind of about, kind of stagger to some degree. Do your fish oil and your minerals and your vitamins first thing, and then at lunch your other two, and then your other two. If it's easier to get them all in, get them all in. For crying out loud, don't say, "Oh, I forgot." Well, if you forget every day, do them all in the morning. That's the obvious. Just get them in you. If you haven't started, start. You're going to get out of this what you put into it. So the people that are ambassadors, the people that are black diamonds, that are really having a big team of people because they're excited about the product and they're sharing it with folks, then all of a sudden they're putting more into it, they're going to get more out of it. So they didn't get there just because, that type of a thing. Greens, I'll usually drink about maybe a fourth of a bottle of water and then put a pack of greens on the go, or a couple scoops in the rest of that, 3/4 bottle of water, shake it up, and I'll sip on that as my morning goes. Or in the 10 minutes it takes me to get to my office, I'll down the whole thing. It just depends on my mood, I guess. And then I'll sip on my protein as the morning goes, or vice versa. I'll say, I don't want to carry the protein in today. I'm going to get that done before I get there, and it's just the way it goes. So there's really, I don't think, any right or wrong way. The protein, though, can be used as a meal replacement. It's got all the fibers that are in there. That was the third thing I liked about that I didn't mention. The fiber that's in the protein swells up. It makes you full. And with all these products, you'll get more out of all of it if you drink more water. Okay? Not more energy drinks, although they are awesome. I love them. Guys, when I've talked to some other guys, and I say, you know what, hair, skin, and nails, I think you'd like this, and they look at me thinking, what are you talking about? And I say, you're bald. Your hair's receding. And I know guys that are taking that, and boom, it's filled in. I know guys that have beards that are just, they're patchy a little bit. Their beards fill in. Okay? Ladies, they may not admit it, but that's a big deal. So don't feel bad about, hey, this is called hair and beard. Make your own label and slap on it. I don't care. You're going to have to clip his nails more, but whatever. You won't figure that out. It'll be one of those things where it's cool. I talked to somebody the other day, and she was talking about her husband being on board. And her husband, and I got a chance to talk to him later as well, and we kind of came to the conclusion that when he went to work, and he's kind of in the construction business, so he's working around a bunch of macho guys. And so he's got his greens with him that he's taking. He's drinking his greens every day. He's taking some Blitz cards that have this crazy wrap thing on it, and he's going to the construction site and stuff like this, and he's got his protein shake, all right? So he's talking to these other construction guys, and he's like, listen, I got a deal for you, because this company is going to make your wife more pretty, and it's going to give you bigger muscles and have more vitality, and those guys are sold right there. Anything that gives them more energy when they're running out of steam at 3 in the afternoon, for sure by 7 at night when they're getting home and trying to play with kids. The energy drinks are good too, but the protein, again, for muscle repair. Guys know that language. Guys know about that protein stuff. And like I say, with the greens as the anti-inflammatory, alkaline, it's very important for energy and vitality. And so I think he's going to do okay. Again, as a team effort with his wife. Those are important things to think about. And there's ways to approach different people with different things from a business side, which is not my forte tonight, or the social media thing or whatever. But there's rules out there that do make sense. Can I say one quick plug on social media? Listening to John, Eric, and some of these other guys that are out there, if you don't know who we're talking about, start stalking all of this on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. And there's guys out there that we can start following. As you start following them and they start talking about their expertise, potentially with Facebook and social media, John Eric said the other night on a Periscope, which is happening here, which is a cool way to get the message out to folks, that anything in life, and I agree with this, anything in life that's successful is based on relationships, isn't it? Your marriage is successful because of that relationship. Your family is successful because of that relationship. Your church life and family is good because of those relationships. If you don't have a good relationship at work, it's not good there. So everything's based on relationships. Social media is relationships. Okay? We've got passion about what we do. Whether it be passion about it works, passion about a particular book we've read and we think everybody needs to read it, passion about chiropractic, passion about our church. We need to earn the right to tell them about it, first and foremost. So the consensus right now is, with Facebook, there's algorithms and all this math stuff involved in the computer world, that if you've got 500 Facebook friends, you don't see all 500 of them every day, do you? If you go do a quick scroll, you see the same handful or two of people all the time. You're like, hey, where's that buddy from high school that I know I'm Facebook friends with, but I don't see his stuff, and I got to go search for him and type his name in and hit go and get there, and oh, okay. Well, now the next day and the day after that, I'm getting stuff on my feed from that dude. Okay, so the computer world is smart with this way. We need to go to our friends out there and like what they're posting. Whether you like them or not, we need to just hit the like button on different random people. And for every 20 likes that you do, then you get to post something yourself. So keep track of that. And I may be different numbers than what you guys are thinking. But that's what I heard this past weekend. Out of every... So now you've liked 20 things and you get to post something. And of the things you post, only 20% can be anything about your company. The other 80% is about your family. It has nothing to do with a sale. It has everything to do about relationships. And that seems to be very, very important for people trusting you. So then if you come back and say, hey, I got something really cool that's changing my life, hashtag Now Adventure, and they're cruising across the lake or something like that this afternoon, you know, I want to be a part. I want to see what they're doing because it looks like that family's having fun. Life's an adventure. Oh, there's something about the greens on the go. When you're on the go and you need to go, it's greens on the go. And that was my post standing in front of an elephant in Cambodia about 3 weeks ago. I had my water bottle, my greens things here, and I'm leaning back, and the elephant's just about ready to step in my foot and smack me in the head with his trunk. But nonetheless, it was fun, right? People wanted to watch that. At the same time, I was doing something fun and creative socially on social media. Again, the only reason I bring that up and you all bring that up is because that's what's made this company explode like it has. In case you don't realize it, that's what happened about 8 years ago at the last presidential election, about 2 elections ago. Is they got a young group of people, social media going, and that kind of changed the course of this country with the presidential election. And so those types of things are real. Did I answer your question about kind of the routine? Because it's really kind of whatever. Just don't drink the greens in the evening. Don't drink the energy in the evening. Unless you need to stay up for a while. Because lots of times that's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you perked up and awake. But if you have one at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, it might carry you through the kids' bedtime without falling over. Which sometimes is tough for me if I don't. Right? Okay. Protein after a workout. Kara's Miss CrossFit, Fulton CrossFit in Fulton. Fulton CrossFit's next to us, and they are
Fulton.
It's a Fulton.
Fulton.
And she'll tell you too that as a muscle recovery drink after you work out, if you want to decrease that soreness that next day, ProFit. Drink your shake as you're leaving the gym. Have it ready to go. Replenish with that. And it really reduces the amount of lactic acid in your muscles. So do the greens. Lactic acid in your muscles is part of that, one of the biggest parts of making your body more acidic compared to anything else. And so the greens, again, maybe before you go in, ProFit on the way out, and you've got a really good blend of stuff that's going to make a difference.
Huge.
Question?
I want to record you
Uh-oh.
for my team that's not here, but
Okay.
I have so many people ask, what's the difference between a probiotic and a prebiotic? And I know you've gone over that, but when we want to explain that to someone, what is a very basic, simple, non-scientific way that we can tell our potential customers the difference between the two and why they need both?
Okay. A probiotic is going to be the good bacteria that our body needs for good, proper digestion and a healthy immune system. And when we have antibiotics, whether we take them prescription or they're in meats and milk and stuff like that we drink from the store, we kill the good bacteria, so we need to replenish them. And we call probiotics the good bacteria that we put back into our system. So that's going to be in the greens. But when they get in there, they need food to live. And so the food that they need is called a prebiotic. Inulin is one of the things, and a variety of other fibers. And so the two work well together. You could do just probiotics, but when you can feed the army, they're going to be more productive. And it's going to be a lot more beneficial to the overall health of that person.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, thank you.
You are the bomb.
Any other questions?
I was going to say that.
Yes, ma'am.
I've seen a lot of
Yes.
testimonials and questions about how greens promote or help with breast milk production. I've seen a lot of people, I know a lot of people who are breastfeeding right now, and they want to know what in greens helps with that.
Sure. Broccoli, kale, cranberries, blueberries, the list goes on. And you know what we look for in America is that magic bullet. What's that one vitamin I can take that's going to make sure I live forever, look like I haven't, and, fill in the blank. It's whole food. And so that's the thing, when your body gets what it needs nutritionally, it can make what it needs to make. There's nothing better for a little one than what the mom is going to make for it. In fact, when we're studying in college, when we're studying in chiropractic college about how everything works, the mother's body actually will change right now when the baby latches onto nurse from what it had earlier in the day. The formula that it's creating and letting go is different because of the connection between the baby's mouth and saliva telling the mother's body what to do and what it needs. So your immune system is passed over. All the good stuff that baby needs is passed over. And you don't get that in formula with a rubber nipple. It doesn't happen. So you have healthier babies because of that. And when you can produce what they need, because you have the building blocks, then it's even that much better. And so it's whole food nutrition. Did mom eat all that stuff yesterday to get it to the baby today? I guarantee you they didn't. So that's where the nutrition works better. Yeah.
I have a couple questions. You're talking about the greens, you're talking about that protein, right? How does that metabolize in your body? How well do you absorb it? Like a lot of the vitamins and stuff like that, you don't really absorb, you don't metabolize very well. Even my medication doctors give you. How well does that metabolize in your body?
Well, and that's the thing with this company and their products is that they're very bioavailable. There's other companies out there that are very bioavailable too, but most of the ones you come in context aren't. One of the things, the time release aspect that she mentioned, I was going to see if I could read it on the box. If not, everything I've read and told you, it's on your website. Do you know that? So number one, next time when we meet, raise your hand that you've taken it and tried it and said, I think I can do this. Number two, I'm going to ask you if you read all the product information sheets, and there's about 3 to 4 pages on each one of them, and there's good stuff in there. There's sugar coating, literally, there's sugar coating on these vitamins, in a variety of different sugars, not just, not white sugar, but sugar coatings that your body recognizes, and it'll work to digest one of them, and then it has to work through the next one, and then it has to work through the next one, before it gets inside and finally lets everything out. So that's kind of part of the time release process. The enzymes, and there's different enzymes in different products. So if you use a system, We all talk about systems in this world. There's systems that are put together to make a difference. Just like in chiropractic. Somebody comes into my office, we have a system. If we don't do the whole system, you ain't getting the whole thing. You're only getting a partial benefit. So you've got to use a whole system to have the full thing happen. So the enzymes are one of the main things, and there's enzymes scattered throughout those, and those start to break down the protein. Those start to make the protein more bioavailable. If your gut, if you're small and then your large intestine are inflamed and irritated and covered with junk from your lifestyle, you're not going to absorb very well. So over a period of 2 or 3 months of taking greens and doing stuff better, you detoxify and clean out, and now you're going to absorb better in 3 months than you did today. So if somebody says, oh, I tried it for a week and didn't work, you really need it. You are sick. If you didn't notice a change over the course of this week, oh my goodness, I need to sign you up for the 6-month plan, and then we'll talk again. Take it every day for 6 months, and then we'll talk. Because they're sick. Most people are really, really sick. You don't realize it. You know what? How many people are walking around like this? In the morning. I mean, I am. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm tired. You know? You got to get your sleep, but you got to get your nutrition too to fuel the fire. Yeah?
Okay, the other question was, the protein, that's primarily the protein, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The protein, you know, like different types of protein, make a difference with the blood sugar level, blood sugars and thyroid and stuff like that. And research has been showing that the lack of protein on neurons is a possibility of ADHD symptoms. So, you being a doctor, does this protein affect the same or even better to like the neurons, the epicenter, as far as even ADHD symptoms?
Sure. You've heard you are what you eat. Okay? All you eat's a Big Mac, guess what it's going to look like? A Big Mac. Okay? You are what you eat. So, yeah, I've had a Big Mac or 2 in my day, okay? We're all a work in progress. It's not where we've been, it's where we're headed, where we're going. This protein is just as good, or I'm going to say a light year better than any other protein that you're going to find anywhere else out there on the face of the earth right now to absorb in and give your body the amino acids that you're talking about, that the neurons need, okay? Again, we can break down into DNA and RNA and all this kind of crazy stuff and get super technical, but just know this, is that the proteins is what your body needs. And proteins are needed on all levels of our body, from neurons and nerve connections. A neuron is what's in the brain and goes to the spinal cord, and if it doesn't have what it needs, you've got protein and you got all these little amino acids, and you got all these little amino acids that made up this protein, okay? So if this plate of sandwiches is the protein molecule, then I won't touch it with my fingers because you might want to eat it. That's the amino acid, okay? The neuron needs that little thing, but it gets it from the platter. It gets it from the protein. And so, yes, bioavailability, I'd put this up there with, up at the top. I have no reason at this point to doubt that. So, bioavailable. All righty. I won't get into wraps, but that's a whole other story. Have fun with it. Life's an adventure. Make sure your day has a great you. Okay? Because we are what we make it. So make sure, tomorrow's a new one. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it looks like. But I'm going to make sure I'm great for it. To help me be great for it, I've got good products. I've got good family, an awesome wife. And if we can support each other in this process, if I can encourage her, I don't have time. I don't have time from a business standpoint to effectively do things like you might. But she may, so go get it and make it count. All right. Any questions later? Facebook message me or stalk me down and whatever. Would love to do any private questions if we need to later. And you'll think of something, and I'll think of something, and we'll meet up in cyberspace. All right.
Come get your neck puffed.
Our very own Dr. Donald.
I know.
That was awesome.
Okay. All right.
One thing I was going to say about the bioavailability, if you have somebody questioning like that their vitamin is better than ours, one thing that I've seen people do is take, like, for instance, our hair, skin, and nails versus the hair, skin, and nails at